Hello, welcome to Imposters Theater and our live stream improv show, Instant Experts, where each pair of improvisers will, in character, make a presentation they have never seen before, and they will, of course, be instant experts in whatever that presentation is. I am your host, Michael Busch. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you'd like to see more of our videos, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, check out our sketches there and shows and follow us on social media at imposterscomedy.com. All right, let's get started. So, without further ado, let's bring on our first pair of experts. I'm very excited to learn from these two. Hello, welcome, Polly O'Mythica and Brenda O'Malley.
Hello, hello, hello.
It's so great to be here with you all today.
Oh,
Yes.
the honor is all ours. Thank you so much. Now, before we get into your presentation, I'm told that you have an interesting story of how you two met.
Oh, yes, yes. We actually met at college, funny enough, just boring, just at the library. I wanted to borrow a certain book. She said no, and I said give it. And eventually she did, and we became friends. She's very giving.
Brenda, I remember that first day when you asked me for the book about the random chronicles of science and stuff, and
Mm,
you just followed me around for 2 weeks like a little
yeah,
puppy. How could I not give you the book after that?
yeah. Yeah, she's such
Oh,
a giver. Such a giver. That's why I
that's
stick with her.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. All right. Well, without further ado, I'm really excited to learn from both of you tonight. So let's get right into your presentation.
Yes. This is a really exciting presentation we have for you. And the first thing we're going to talk about is the three spirit components. That's a deep word. That's a deep sentence, isn't it?
It's so deep. I mean, we spent hours just trying to come up with the perfect one-liner for our
Mhm.
introduction, and that's it.
Just to
And
snatch you in
just like that sunset, we're just going to take it and snatch it.
and snatch it and live it. Yes.
And then
That's
we're
the
going to
best.
love it.
We're going to love it so hard. So hard. Yes.
And as we go through this presentation today, Brenda, I hope our audience notices that we actually left secret clues into this slide about what
Oh,
some of the three
little
components may
little
be.
Easter eggs. That's what we do. We love leaving surprises.
Is it a rock or is it one of the components? I don't know.
Who knows? Who knows? Well, we know because we put them there. But should
Why
we?
don't we go to the next slide?
Let's go to the next slide. Let's get this started. Oh yeah. So the three. What are spirit components? That is such a. I mean, it's such a far out there question. We have so many things that can come with it, the planet, the galaxy, the ocean, all those three that come in together and makes us go, why? Why is this for my spirit? Why does my spirit need this? Mm,
And I have to tell, I think we really need to let them in, Brenda, that we discovered this during college. Like
mm,
we took our shared philosophy class and kind of came up with a whole new way of being.
exactly. I sat right behind Polly the whole time and just fed off of her. Yeah,
And we came up with the very first one in terms of plant. It's because Brenda, you brought me a plant. That
I
was the
did.
very first thing you did to try and bribe that book back for me.
I did. I brought you a nice little tulip. I think it was a tulip. They're in season right now, actually. Yeah. And that was my part of my spirit to give her that plant. See, it's something that's part of you to give to others. See?
And once you give a plant to somebody, you're connected to them forever. I bet you didn't know that. You got to be careful who you gift plants to.
You can't just spread out plants everywhere. I totally
Mhm.
agree with you, Polly. I mean, I gave a plant to somebody, my mailman, and he just shows up every day. It's not what I want.
Same. Totally. I gave a plant to my dog. Comes back every day.
Oh, you see, two reasons why you don't want it in your spirit. And the next one that might be far reach for everybody because it's so big and vast is the galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Everything, the stars, the moon, the sun, everything is a part of your spirit, is the galaxy. My favorite thing to do is to go out in the middle of a field, yell, scream, cry a little bit, and look up at the stars.
And I want you to take note of Brenda's order: yell, scream, and cry at things, because that's
Mm,
really what's going to help open you up to be vulnerable to what the galaxy is going to give back to you.
mm-hmm. And I do it all the time. It's good
And,
time.
I think we can't forget about the ocean.
Oh, yes.
I like to say our human souls are as deep as the ocean.
The heart of the ocean. Yeah.
And if you look at this little Venn diagram over here, this tiny piece in the middle, that's where your soul lives in a Venn diagram. Can you imagine?
I know. And it looks simple, but it's not. But let's keep going. Let's go to the next slide. Now, we talked a little bit about plants, but the growth, life, ever essence, that's the word of plants. I talked about giving my plant to Polly. That's how we became even better friends. And
Totally.
totally. And this is how the plant spirit exists within us to give out. But we have to be careful, like we said, of who you give your plant to.
I actually gave, you see in this photo here in the back, we have one of my favorite plants, which is the um, long, longhorned leaf plant. This is Veronica over here, one of my
Veronica,
next door neighbors. Look at how just glowing she is right now. I mean, don't you want that for your life?
you want that for your life, glowing. And this is how you can get it. Sometimes, and if you don't have a plant, you can simply go to a florist and just buy one, love on it a little bit, and then there you go. It starts to glow.
But Brenda, don't forget the breathing. You really need to breathe on that plant. Like,
Breathe like hot air, like you're breathing fire. Yes. I think we should go to the next slide.
ooh, and this is one of my personal favorites, the galaxy spirit.
Mm,
It's
mm.
really all about, wisdom, community, curiosity. And I think, when I think of the galaxy spirit, Brenda, I want to say, I think of you.
Oh, because I'm just so far out there.
I think it's your adventurous and it's your spirit that likes to
Oh,
explore new pathways. Remember when you decided that instead of going to the cat food, we should try and go to Noodles and Company?
oh, I know. Taking a chance, taking a risk. I know that's not easy for a lot of people, but once you let that galaxy spirit in, you become one. Go and explore. That's how you exercise. That's how you adventure. You just go for it. And sometimes you scream, cry, and yell in a field and just do it in the stars. That brings you wisdom.
Exactly. I couldn't have said it better myself. And why
Hmm.
don't we move on to our next and final slide?
Mm. Oh,
Mm.
the ocean spirit. Now, I do have a little secret. I don't know how to swim. I don't know how to swim, but I still put my feet in that ocean because I love it. It's kind to me and it's empathetic to me that I don't know how to swim in it.
And I think, that's just so beautiful that you can still connect just a little piece, just a little bit of your teeny tiny toes can really connect with that huge
Mm,
vastness of the ocean. It's just
hmm.
incredible. Just
Yeah,
absolutely incredible.
yeah. And this, once you do this, how to nurture this, once you're able to get that ocean spirit, see, I went in anyway because I still have that sense of adventure. I went in and I was able to build more friendship, bigger friendship with Polly. I love dancing, and you know, maybe one day I'll learn how to swim.
You will. I know
Yeah,
you will, Brenda.
I'll
And
get
an
there.
added bonus of the ocean spirit is that it makes you really flexible.
Mm.
And I think, as you can see in our little
Oh yeah,
visual over here,
she's reaching
this
for it.
gentleman who has really embraced.
Mm. Yeah, she's really stretching and getting into there. That picture is actually one of my sister's longtime friend, uh, good friends. She did that. She's really good in the ocean. Yeah. So yeah, the ocean spirit.
All
Dive on in.
right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Polly and Brenda. That was so enlightening. We really appreciate your energy that you've brought here. We have a couple questions from the audience here.
Mm.
Now, we have one question. This person is worried that their galaxy spirit is broken because they're too scared to try Noodles and Company. What can they do?
Ooh. Oh, that's understandable. See, that's when I get scared, that's when I go to my empty field and I scream, yell, and I cry a little bit. And it's okay to be broken. You're allowed to be broken just a little bit. But once you free and get out there and explore, you'll be able to go to that, was it Noodles and Cat? Yeah.
Noodles and Company, yes.
Noodles and Company. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, now the screaming kind of leads into our next question. We actually have a couple of people who, for uh, various different separate medical reasons, they can't scream in a field for these medical reasons.
Mm.
Now, are there other locations you'd recommend for screaming?
Oh,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Polly?
I think gas stations, really perfect
Mm.
opportunity to scream. In the middle of the aisle, preferably the one in front of the beef jerky. It
Oh, yeah.
really connects to the vastness of the universe. And
Mm-hmm.
Do
then
you have a
this one
favorite
is
chain of gas stations?
my favorite chain. I would have to go with Sunko. Yep,
Yeah.
because the sun and the galaxy, right? I mean, it's
Sunko. They come
There
right
you
in
go.
hand in hand.
Fantastic. And you mentioned earlier of the power of giving plants to people. Is there a specific plant you would give to someone you don't want to see again?
Ooh.
mm,
Usually it's a holly. Mine's a holly. I know it's supposed to be joyful and the Christmas spirit, but I don't want Christmas all the time, just like I don't want that person all the time. So a holly.
Which is also poisonous, right?
Yeah. Yes, it
Maybe?
is. A little
Okay. And one last question. Is it true that if you free your mind, the rest will follow?
bit. It's a wise word of in vogue. Yes.
Fantastic. All right. Well, it looks like Polly was having some connection issues. Maybe she's uh, virtually screaming into the universe right now. So,
Sometimes that happens. Sometimes that happens.
all right. Well, thank you so much, both Polly and Brenda. Thank you.
Bye bye now.
Bye. All right. Let's get right into our next experts here. Let's bring out our next pair. Hello. We have
Hey,
Tony
how
Tor.
you doing?
I'm great. Thank you. Tony Tortellini and Ralph Banana Head Silvio. Thank you so
That's
much
right.
for being here.
How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? We're in the export import business. We're excited to be here. Explain what we're gonna explain.
Oh, that's fantastic. So you're entrepreneurs.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah. Making money is our business.
Yeah, because you gotta make money. That's business.
That's business 101, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, fantastic. Tony and Ralph, I'm really excited for your presentation this evening. So let's have you get right into it. All right.
No
Okay,
problem.
right. Okay. Let's go first slide here. Here we go. Come on. Here we go.
All right. So the sandwich story, the beginner's guide.
Now this is the sandwich story for the beginner. All right, that's where we put the beginner's guide.
Yeah, this is for someone who wants to start making sandwiches or what have you.
Yeah, so this is like some podunk idiot, from Kentucky or whatever. Was like, I never made no sandwiches. What am I gonna do?
How do I make money out of turkey, cheese, lettuce, tomato, and a hoagie bun?
It's real simple. We'll walk you right through. Here you go.
All right, next slide.
Next slide.
All right, so to define a sandwich, it's a noun.
Yeah.
Light bulb moment for me.
Mhm.
Didn't know that. 2 or more slices of bread or a split roll having a filling between. So in our family, as we're from Sicily,
yeah, originally, we're not from there now. Like a couple generations back.
Now we're from Jersey.
Yeah.
But think of like a meatball sub, a turkey sandwich, a ham sandwich, meat, cheese, and a bun.
Yeah, if you don't have meat in there,
it's not a fucking.
It's not a sandwich. It's not a sandwich. A hot dog.
Not a sandwich.
Not a sandwich. It's a hot dog. You know. That's what I'm saying. And
right.
so look at here. We got a sandwich. It's meat with bread. You got another sandwich. It's meat with bread. You got a cup of soup. Soup ain't a sandwich.
It's not a sandwich. It's a liquid.
You can get a soup and a sandwich, but you can't get a sandwich and a sandwich.
Yeah.
That's stupid. All right, next slide.
All right, common sandwich fillings. I feel like we went over this before, but you got your vegetables.
Yeah.
You got your meats. You got your cheeses, and God forbid, you got your condiments.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. If you're some dumbo who don't know what's in a sandwich,
move along.
Hello, baby. Hello, you a newborn. You just fell off the truck. You don't know what a sandwich is. What's wrong with you?
You should be eating, gobbledygook baby food.
Oh, let me put it. Banana head. Let me put it to them till they understand. Gobbledygook, goo goo goo, mama, daddy, poo 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 poo. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's baby talk.
It's come on, get over it.
That's for babies out there.
But let me just say, with the sandwich, you gotta have your condiments, a little vinegar, a little salad dressing.
You gotta dress that up. You can't just meat and bread. Although
come on, it's
technically
too common.
It's dry. It's dry. It's gonna scratch your throat. You gotta throw some vinegar on there, some condiments, mustard, relish, whatever you want. It's okay, mayo.
All right, next slide.
Next slide.
All right, regional sandwiches. So
hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, I do not agree with some of these choices, but here we go.
We got to apply ourselves to our clients. So we will feed these kind of sandwiches, but it doesn't mean we agree with them. Let's go at the BLTA. Ugh.
Okay,
bacon, lettuce, tomato, avocado.
Look,
it's a pussy vegetable. I'm going to put it out there, but people like it.
Banana head, calm down. Calm down.
I'm sorry.
Avocado is a wonderful thing, and I think there's a lot of hipsters out there who love the avocado toast.
You know what I like about an avocado? You charge $3.50 more to put it on a sandwich.
Bingo. That's why I like an avocado too. Hey, avocados, welcome to the family.
Welcome to the family. Yeah, we buy you for a penny, we sell you for $3.50.
But let's move down to the south.
All right, the po' boy. Oh my God.
Now this is a strange story. Here's why they call it the po' boy. Because po' boy people, that's who ate them. Poor people.
But now we're selling them to the rich. So you take an idea that was for the poverty-stricken people and you sell it to the rich.
Let me tell you something. We learned this from Marvin Berry. Marvin Berry. He was this innovator. He was a wonderful man. He knew how to. He saw like bums down on the dock, and they were like making their own soup with like a shoestring and like an old boot or something. And they're like, "Hey, this is good stew." And we're like, "Hey,
there's an idea."
Marvin was like, "You know what? I'm gonna make my own stew," and he put it into a restaurant for rich people. Anyway, let's move on. Outside. I'm sorry, I'm getting too busy.
So the Cuban from Florida. I like a Cuban because it's a lot of meat. You've got your salamis, you've got your hams, you've got your veggies, you've got a lot of condiments, you've got your meats, your cheeses. And you sell it for maybe $10.50.
Every time I'm down in Florida, I always have a Cuban. Florida is a wonderful time. You can get a lot of stuff. I tell you what, Cubans are great. Go to Florida, invest in some land down there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And buy yourself a Cuban. And then lastly,
is a Philly cheesesteak.
Philly cheesesteak.
Nothing's better than a Philly cheesesteak.
I disagree because I don't like Philadelphia. I hate that place. I hate them. I hate them so much. I do not like Philadelphia.
Hey, don't let Banana Head come down on you. All right,
sorry,
next slide.
Next slide.
All right, so
that's it. That's the end, pretty much.
I want to conclude. All right, so let me conclude that a hot dog is not a sandwich.
It's not a sandwich. And
consider maybe opening a sandwich joint. A delicatessen is a very, very good money investment.
I will tell you this. Let me tell you this. This is the plan here. Okay, open up a sandwich place, maybe a Jersey Mike's, maybe a Subway. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't even have to be a trademark.
Those franchises come built in with signage, with numbers. All that stuff is great. Make it a place that's got a big back room. You know what I'm saying? A big back room. So you got the extra space. That extra space you can use to launder money.
Let's be frank.
Okay.
These are friends. To launder money, okay? But you've got your Subway sandwich shop, which looks very legitimate for the Gentile.
Yeah. Now be careful though with Subway because they got that trouble with the guy and all that stuff. Whatever. Jersey Mike's is better. I like Jersey Mike's.
Quiznos.
Quiznos.
We love a good Quiznos.
You can't go wrong with Quiznos. They toast the bread.
And they've got soup.
And so F hot dogs, the freaking whatever, and that's a sandwich, and gaga goo, babies.
Thank you so much.
All right, Tony and Banana Head, thank you. That was an amazing presentation. We really appreciate it. We have a bunch of questions from our audience, so let's just dive right into it. First one is more of a statement. As a baby, they just want to say thank you for recognizing and supporting the baby community. So a little shout out there.
All right, well, gaga goo, Busch, whatever.
And get to school.
Yeah, go get a job, you bum.
Education is important, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you're a baby and you can type on the computer,
get a job.
You can work from home.
It's called e-jobbing.
Yeah, get on Indeed.
All right, e-jobbing, great, thank you. Okay, let's see what else we have. One person asks, do you recognize the open face sandwich as a sandwich?
How could you even bring that up?
You're lucky this person is not in the vicinity of my face or my fist or my foot. Because I tell you what,
you don't want to get Banana Head heated up.
You have to close the sandwich. Open up. I mean, what are you? What you want a slut for a sandwich? A whore? No, you want a sandwich.
Close the legs.
I'm not gonna say no more about it. I'll walk
Interesting.
out.
Okay, so the definition of sandwich is having like the top and the bottom.
It's called boundaries. Boundaries,
okay.
Michael.
We live in a society. We gotta be civilized.
Yet a hot dog is not a sandwich to you.
No.
Closed bread.
Closed. It's like this. Does that look close to you?
Oh, so if it's still open, I see. Okay, all right.
I don't
Fair
want
enough.
to get into what a hot dog and a hot dog bun looks like. They made a movie about it. I did not like that movie, and I do not like hot dogs.
Fair enough. All right. Let's see. This person just escaped from a very strict communal society that forbade sandwich consumption. Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
They came to this talk in the hopes that they would learn more about sandwiches and not to be called a baby and mocked. Oh, interesting.
We didn't see you as a baby. Read between the lines.
Look, hey, I understand. My Aunt Sylvia, she was a nutso. She was a super psycho person. She was fucking crazy. She was loop. Went to the insane asylum. So I understand crazy people. I understand you got the long sleeves, they tie behind your back and everything. I feel for you. I feel for you nut jobs. You freaking crazies out there. I understand. Sandwiches are very special. And now that you're not crazy no more, go get yourself a sandwich and enjoy your life.
Get a sandwich and feel better.
I fully support you nutzos.
Tony and Banana, I feel like maybe your language needs a little updating for modern times, maybe.
What are you talking about?
We were both born in the 50s. What's the problem?
Just a suggestion. All right.
We are both 86 years old.
Oh,
it's 88, okay?
Wow. All right. Okay. Is a quesadilla a sandwich? Yes or no?
Oh, Oh gosh. Well, it is closed, isn't it?
I'm gonna say C,
C.
which is yes in Spanish because it's a case.
All right.
See what I'm saying?
Acceptable. All right. What if hypothetically you use 2 pieces of fried chicken breast and put bacon in the middle with cheese, much like the double down from KFC? Is that still a sandwich?
There's no bread though. There's no bread.
Well, there's bread on the chicken. It's
The
breaded.
chicken's breaded.
Breaded, yeah. I see.
I'll allow it, okay? You freakazoid.
It's a slippery slope, but it's technical. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, slippery slope, but you're still on the slope. Got it. All right. And final question. Hi, Tony and Banana Head. My wife loves eating sandwiches in bed, but I can't stand the crumbs. Help. What to do?
You got to get yourself a dirt devil right next to the nightstand.
I have one next to my wife.
I've got one next to my
wife. Rest her soul. She's still alive. She's not dead, but I like to say rest her soul because I keep praying. She eats sandwiches in bed. Banana Head bought me a lovely dirt devil for last Christmas. Thank you, Banana Head. And when I keep it next to the bed, I vacuum up those crumbs before I go to bed. Saves my silk sheets. It looks nice, and our marriage is still working. So
fantastic. Banana Head, is your wife still alive?
God rest her soul, yes.
Yep.
I'm praying.
Well, fantastic. This has been very, very educational. So, Tony and Banana Head, thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck in your businesses.
Best of luck to you. And if you
Best
ever
of
want to
luck.
open a sandwich shop, just let us know.
Yeah, you let us know, Mr. Michael Busch.
We'll have a big back room. All right. Thank you.
Toodaloo.
Wow. So just so many nuggets of knowledge so far. And we have 3 more pairs of experts. So let's bring out our next pair of experts. Who do we have? We have Uncle Al. Hey, Uncle Al.
Am I?
You're a little close there. Okay. And Uncle Ed. Uncle Al and Ed. Uncle Ed.
Am I in the
Okay.
computer?
Hey,
The kid said I'd be in the computer right now. Am I in the computer?
Yes, you are. You both made it. Good job.
Hey, Eddie!
hey, ow!
You're in the
Dude.
computer!
You are too. Whoa!
Congratulations to
Whoa.
both
If my
of you.
ex-wife could see me now, I'd tell her to go fuck herself.
Oh, it's
And-
like the whole wide world web. Whoa.
Yeah, you can see across it all. Yeah. Uncle Ed, are you married?
Not anymore.
Oh,
It was recent.
oh,
recent.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring up an open.
We are
wound there.
2 single men, recently
Yeah.
single over the past 2 decades. We have no
Yeah.
kids, a lot
No
of
kids.
nieces and nephews, and we
And
know a
we're,
lot. Our kids, our nephews, our nieces, they said, get on the show, teach the people what you know. So we're here to teach the people what we know. Hey,
Fantastic. Well, I'm happy to have you, and let's hear what you have to tell us. Let's hear what you know.
all right, so I guess we can get into the show. Hey, I'm gonna get my
yeah.
kid. Hey, turn on the first slide. Is it on? All right. So-
I see it.
Yeah, okay. So we're gonna be talking today about house plans. When you're a single guy, you know how to take care of 2 things: cats and plants.
Yeah. I love my succulents. My succulents are my life.
I like a nice creeping vine that goes up the wall.
Oh yeah, and once it gets big enough, you kind of like have it go around the whole room. Oh, it's such a great design.
And I like a cactus that it blooms. You know, it's like prickly, but it blooms into a beautiful flower. I like to think that I'm like a cactus.
Oh, are you describing me right now? Are you
I'm
describing me right
describing
now too?
Eddie. I'm describing us.
Oh yeah, we're kind of prickly, but there's that flower on top once you get
Okay,
to know
let's
us.
jump into it. Next
Yeah.
slide. All right, well, we're gonna talk about some plants. We jumped the gun because we're so excited about the plants.
Yeah, we got to some of our favorite ones, but we gonna go down the line. We love them all.
Yeah. So first, we're gonna talk about your spider plants. They're not so scary. So don't worry. They're not real spiders.
No, they're not. I mean, there was that one time I had one set up in my room, and in the middle of the night, it was reaching out, and I thought someone was coming to get me.
You thought there was a man with a clown wig coming in through your window. I know, I've been there. That's why you can't keep, okay, you can keep them in a well-lit spot, but do not keep them anywhere near your bed because you'll think it's a person with a clown wig, like a real like Sideshow Bob situation.
Yeah, scared the bejesus out of me. My ex-wife was like, "What's wrong with you?" And there's a whole thing.
Yeah, she didn't understand. That's why you're better off without her, Eddie. You're better off without her.
I bought 3 spotted plants when she left.
And the next one we got here is the money tree. Don't get excited. It's not the money tree because it doesn't actually grow money.
I thought there was money involved. Not even a dime.
And I bought it because I thought it was a DVD of the movie Money Train, which I think's the better Wesley Snipes, Woody Harrelson collaboration.
It's all right.
Oh, come on. We're not going to argue about this again, are we?
I mean, we can go for hours, but we're talking about plants, not the filmography of Wesley
Next
Snipes.
Well,
dragon trees. See, I love dragon trees because
on fire.
How you can, how you can incorporate them in a room is almost like they're like plant torches.
They're like fireworks that live in your house.
Yeah, they just rise up and they really fill a space. It's a glorious thing to see when you really utilize a dragon tree.
Yeah, and as you can see here, they don't need a lot of light, which is great because I live in a lot of places that are technically dens when I'm not living here in my sister's guest room.
Oh, you gotta get out of there, man. You gotta get out of there.
Look,
I keep on saying there's always room. There's always room in my house between a few of the spider plants and a few of the dragon trees. You can come on in.
It's all right, man. It's all right, Eddie.
Yeah.
My best friend. My best friend.
Yeah. I got you, boo. I got you.
Succulents. They need 6 hours of light daily. And if you give them any more or any less, they die.
Got this, brother. I'll give you all the love you need.
They don't need a lot of water, and then you fertilize them in the summer. And they
just take care of them.
As a button.
They are so cute. They look a little puffy, and you can just put them all around the house.
They look like little candies you could grab and just eat.
I'm always glad to have them near. Just like you. Just like you, Al. Just like you, I'm always glad to have a succulent on hand. I'm always glad to have a good friend near.
When it comes to friends, you're my succulent. Next slide.
Oh, you getting me too.
Asparagus fern.
Oh, this asparagus fern.
Make your pee smell bad.
Oh, it does. It does. But it helps you lose. Don't eat it.
Just like us, they adapt to dark and light spaces because they've seen the lows and they've seen the highs.
You also got to be careful because just like us, they're prickly. They got little thorns on them. So you got to take care when holding them so you don't get hurt.
And they're easy to not kill, which means they're hard to kill. I don't know who wrote that slide, but it's like a double negative kind of.
Hard to kill because that means you're always going to be around. That means no matter how hard it gets, you're still going to be here, Al.
I'm easy to not kill. You can leave me alone forever, and I'll just be in a basement for 6 months, and I'll come back up alive.
Yeah.
And the philodendron. Don't need to water him more than weekly. Just like me, I go to the bar once a week.
I praise him for the water cleaning capabilities. I definitely use them for water filtration.
And they're toxic to plants and people, so just, don't eat them. Don't eat them. Don't be dumb.
Yeah. Next slide.
ZZ Plant's got a long beard, knows how to play guitar real good, Texas Boogie.
Yeah, we do like the ZZ. And again, toxic if ingested. So
toxic. I think the rule is generally if it's not something you buy in a store for food, you just don't eat it.
Yeah, it doesn't just Keep away from animals.
No matter
small
how good
children.
they look. Succulents look so tasty like that little shiny candies you can eat. Don't do it.
The main takeaway is just like us, might not want them around people all the time.
And don't eat us.
Yeah, please don't eat us.
And we're going to end you with addition Dr. Becky, which is just a cool name.
Yeah, I like that one. I just like the name. Looks kind of neat too.
Yeah, well, I think that's all the house plants there is.
Yeah.
I think we named like 8, and that seems like tops.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. We went over some of the hits. Al, how you holding up?
Pretty good. It's been a roller coaster. I'm really happy to see you. I'm happy to be in my computer. And I'm happy to tell the people out there, I assume there's millions of people watching this right now.
Only can
thousands of people. I think we're like on the American Idol. Know about the plants.
We're spreading that knowledge. Al, like I said, whenever you want to come over.
Come, you know
There's
what?
always room.
I'm packing my bag.
Oh, sweet. We could watch a bunch of Wesley Snipes movies tonight. It's Snipes night.
We got New Jack City.
Oh, boy, you know it.
All right. I guess this is the part where we take questions.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Uncle Al and Uncle Ed, thank you so much. That was your knowledge of different types of plants is quite amazing, as well as your knowledge of sadness. So thank you for bringing us both of those. We really appreciate it. Let's see. Let's get a couple questions from our audience. Which plant would make the best friend to talk to about your problems?
That is quite the pickler.
You probably want a fern. It's a tree you can kind of keep inside. And that means it's got all the parts of the plant. It's got the woody part and the leafy part. And it's as tall as a person. You can pretend it's like maybe a wife or a child or a first date or someone like you met on the internet that you are maybe selling like an old DVD to in a Walmart parking lot.
I always go with a small cactus because it already feels like you're talking into a microphone a little bit. And sometimes I croon into it and it feels like it grows a little better. It helps its day too.
You got a beautiful voice. Eddie,
Uncle Ed, what's your favorite song to croon to?
Yeah, give us a taste. Break us off something.
I usually don't really do any in like old time favorites. I just like blues croon, whatever I'm feeling at the time. So if I was gonna like blues croon right now into a little succulent, I'll go like. Oh, my best friend's coming over, and we're gonna cheer ourselves up tonight. Oh, our best friends are coming over. We're gonna watch some Wesley Snipes tonight. Ooh, you know, something like that.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing your gifts with us there. Let's get to okay. Here's someone has some advice they want. So, as a young, single, and available 45-year-old man who still lives at home with both parents
Nothing wrong
and a
with
slight
that.
lisp,
No.
what's the best houseplant to take on a date to impress the ladies?
To impress the ladies.
Some people are going to say a flower, and that is too forward because you don't want to give it to her. You want to make sure it's your houseplant still at the end of the day. I'm going to say some aloe vera. Because if you get all nervous and your hands are dry, you can just break off a little piece and get a little smooth. And then you're ready to give like a massage.
I'll go with the bonsai plant.
Oh.
Because a bonsai plant, you can always use it as a small little gift. Help them start a little peace garden. It's a conversation starter. And it's also just a neat thing to have around the house. It's a nice little starter plant.
You can say bonsai.
Yeah, you can say bonsai. It's really cool.
All right, fantastic. Those both sound great. Let's go to our next question here. Okay. So this kind of going off of your Uncle Ed, your singing into your cactus. So this person says, "Hey brother, I done heard that you can sing to your plants to make them jacked. What bands do you recommend specifically to make your plants jacked?"
You want muscular, strong plants. Obviously, you're going to want some workout jams. which for me is like usually speed metal in the 80s, so maybe some Slayer.
Slayer's always good.
Now, if you want them lean, though, you want to make sure you give them something they can do a lot of cardio to, and I like 90s R&B.
Ooh, 90s R&B is good. A little house music I sometimes use with a nice upbeat on it.
All right. Fantastic. All right. Well, Uncle Al and Uncle Ed, I hope you enjoy your Wesley Snipes marathon. And
we will.
Thank you for joining us on the World Wide Web.
All right. All right. Let's see.
Let's see if we can try and get out of here.
It's the stop video button. Okay.
I don't want to be stuck in here forever.
Okay. All right. Uncle Al and Uncle Ed. Fantastic. And we have 2 more pairs of experts left. So let's bring out our next experts.
All right. Hello, Michael.
Hey, Charlie and Mikey. Welcome.
Thanks for having us, Michael.
We're very excited to have you here. And the two of you, now you, if I remember correctly, you have a fun kind of an anecdote you like to share about your just history together.
Oh, do we ever? This is the story of how we met. Actually, it's a good one. So here I am walking along in the woods, as I do every Tuesday night. Why? Don't worry about the specifics. But what do I hear but my now good friend Charlie?
Crunching, I'm munching, I'm searching for shrooms. I turn around, I think it's a grizzly bear. I piss myself and I scream because I think I'm about to die. And it's this guy, and he says,
"Whoa, those are some great truffles you got there. I brought my pig if you want some help." And the rest, as they say, is history.
Wow, that's amazing. And what was Mikey, what was your pig's name?
My pig was Leonardo.
R.I.P. Leonardo. I'm sorry to hear.
I'd rather not discuss.
I'm sorry. Didn't mean to bring up. But we're very excited to have both of you here. So let's jump right into your presentation and just drop some knowledge on us, guys.
Well, away we go. So today we're here to tell you about the difference opossum or possum and how to tell them apart.
Because let me tell you, if you think one's a bear and you scream and shriek and piss yourself, you could be embarrassed because it could just be a possum and not an opossum. So we want to make sure you guys can tell the difference and save yourself that embarrassment. Let's get going. Let's kick to the next slide.
So there are, before we get to the differences, we need to talk of similarities.
Yes.
There are many ways that opossums are very similar to possums, much like Mikey or Charlie and I are very much alike.
Nocturnal.
Yes, as are we.
We are most active during the moonlight. We sleep a lot during the day. But I'd say between 8 and 11 hours, I would say I'd sleep during the day.
Easy.
Yeah.
Daylight hours. Yep. Marsupials, built-in fanny packs. I wear my fanny pack. When I'm not sleeping, I'm fanny packing. That's just my motto.
And where do you think I keep the truffles? In my good looks? No. I need a fanny pack. I need storage. And a lot of people don't know this, but truffles need to be kept, above room temperature. And right around the gut, you generate a lot of heat. And so, you are just like naturally warming the truffles, keeping them as they are, under the earth, nice and heated while you're going searching at night.
Exactly. Of course, both possums and opossums have bipedal tails. See, this is one area where we, Charlie and myself, diverge from possums and opossums, even though the two of them converge.
Right.
We do not have tails, but if we did, we'd be a little bit more like possums.
I tell you, if Dick's Sporting Goods had bipedal tails next to their fanny packs, I'd be the first in line to buy one, but they don't. As it is, I am just bipedal. I don't have a bipedal tail, but I am a biped.
Only we could buy those tails.
Yeah. And now, and then of course,
Cute.
you're looking at Charlie. I'm looking at Charlie. We're looking at me. We're cute. We're murderous. And I mean, I have killed somebody. I've done it.
I was talking about how I walk around mysteriously in the woods every week. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you guys know this, but it is like super easy to kill a person.
You have no idea. Speaking of which, that's such a common misunderstanding.
Right. I mean, again, the soft belly not only keeps things warm, but it, this is a pincushion that I'm looking at. That fanny pack is protection. If you're not wearing that, I'm just gonna stab right through.
Exactly.
So,
and as you can see, we've recently learned from the Australian Geographic that possums aren't the gentle vegetarians you thought they were. We have ample evidence that these cute marsupials taste for flesh. As you can see, they're using those bipedal tails to wield knives while they skateboard, moves they learned directly from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. They picked up the remake, and now they've got skateboards. So watch your back when you're in the woods on a late Tuesday night.
next
Let's
slide.
move on to the next slide. So here's one of the key differences: location. It sounds like three differences. It's really just one.
It's one difference, many continents. Because you could be in the forest at night in the outback. You could be in the forest at night in Ontario. Hell, you could be in the forest at night in Mexico City, and you can still run across something that's murderous and cute. Now, is it a possum or is it an opossum?
See, that's the trick. And now here you go. If you're in North America, most likely it's an opossum.
Right.
And you can tell because you're going to look at that and you're going to go, oh, possum. But if you're from, say, Australia, it's going to be just a plain old possum because just about every creature in Australia is trying to murder you. So a possum to them is that small change. They eat scorpions in their cereal. So they're not going to be startled by a little possum, even if it is chasing after them on its skateboard with its knife.
Yeah, for all they know, it could be a spider.
Exactly.
Or a rattlesnake. A kangaroo. Kangaroos, also marsupials. Where do you think they're hiding the body?
They got a built-in body hider.
I'm just saying, they will box you to death and they'll never see you again. Next slide.
Subtle differences in the appearance here.
Right. And this is kind of where I identify as more of an opossum when we think about the outer layer, looking our best, dressing for success, dressing for murder, but maybe there's cocktails after.
Exactly. You're just gonna try to have a good time and look the part. You've got that elongated snoot. Look at that.
I don't know if you can see that bridge.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's very possum-esque. Opossum-esque, I should say.
Very opossum-esque.
On the other hand, I feel like I'm more of a possum, largely nudist. You can't see me from below the neck here for a very important reason. Teeny head. You should see the rest of my body. You think my head looks big? Boy, have I got a surprise for you.
And I'm gonna throw you under the skateboard a little bit here, Mikey, because you shave that beard.
Oh,
you shave that beard, you're losing 50% of the landmass right there.
I'd say 75.
All right. Well, hey, awesome. I'm glad you threw yourself in a little bit deeper.
Have such shaggy fur.
Yeah.
Next slide.
Let's keep things rolling.
So, of course, playing possum or playing opossum, very different. Now, you think of playing possum, they're playing dead. This is a move that the possum picked up from famed WWE wrestler Ric Flair. You think he's down for the count. You go to pin him, whoop, he scoops you up, That's
murders you in the ring.
Exactly. So just like that with the possum, you see one you think is dead. Just know that there's a ref lurking nearby, waiting to give you.
Yeah, yeah. And again, I can't stress enough the playing dead is a great way to lure in victims. I mean, people are thirsty to save you. You know, like suddenly I'm laying face down on a beach, you know, seemingly not breathing. But what's in the fanny pack that they can't see? A knife.
Exactly.
Turn, thrust, another one in the books.
Yeah. Versus on the other hand, a plain old or an old opossum, you know, they're just going to hide. So, you know, you just count backwards from 10. They're going to go run away, think you're going to look for it. That's really that simple. So now you know the difference between possum and opossum.
We really hoped that this information will help you the next time that you're, you know, maybe you're lurking in the woods at night. Maybe you're just like stalking through the woods at night. Maybe you're kind of, I don't know, dragging a body through the woods at night. Whatever you're doing, I hope this information helps. And, you know, if you guys have any questions, just, you know, follow us on Twitter, Charlie and Mikey at Possum Daddy. That's a Twitter handle, I think. That's how Twitter works.
That's great. Yeah. Thank you, Charlie and Mikey. And thank you for dropping your Twitter handle. What was it again?
At Possum Daddy.
Yeah.
Possum Daddy. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
great.
Possum Daddy. Yeah, Possum Daddy.
Fantastic. So we have just a couple questions from our audience here. And first, thank you so much for all of that great information, especially about the bodies. Let's see. This person wants, my husband was murdered by a possum. Oh no. Would revenge against possums help them with the healing process?
I'd say yes, personally. You know, having killed a number of people myself, if you get revenge, it is satisfying. Trick is, first things first, you're gonna have to learn how to skateboard. So
fair enough. I think that's a fair compromise there. All right. Next question. Let's see. This person says, native West Virginian here. Can you confirm that the East Virginian opossum is a dumb son of a bitch?
Yes.
And confirm.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I once saw that opossum misspell its own name. I mean, I don't know how much dumber you can get.
That's pretty dumb.
That is one dumb son of a bitch.
An easy 400 points on the SAT that they just missed.
Right. I mean, they wear their own shoes to the murder scene.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a dumb son of a bitch.
Exactly.
All right. And a follow-up question to our first question. Is it legal to wipe out a species in vengeance?
Is it legal? I think no. I think that's why we have the endangered species list. So I wouldn't say wipe them out entirely. And personally, you know, when I'm sort of wiping out a species or a family, if you will, I start with the small ones. I find them easier, and it really sort of, you know, mentally terrorizes the the parental figures in the species or family, again, as I'll just say. So, you know, start small, see if you got an appetite for it, and go from there.
That just makes common sense, because, you know, you want to get your motor running first, and then, like, once you get up to speed, then you can go for the larger ones, right?
Right. Yeah. You know.
Yeah. All right. One final question. Would a possum make a good first pet for this person's 1-year-old?
Absolutely. If your 1-year-old has aspirations in the extreme sports world, you're going to learn some skateboarding tricks just right off the bat. Also, they're going to learn how to murder. So that's going to help them later in life.
All right, fantastic. Well, I have so many more questions for you, but I'm just going to have to ask them on Twitter at Possum Daddy, right?
Possum Daddy.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Charlie and Mikey, and see you in the woods.
We'll see you there. Not if I see you first.
All right. Wow. A lot of great information there. Really excited to have them on. It's been we've been trying to get them for months. All right. We're at our final pair of experts. Let's bring them out. Hello, we have Madison and Chip Montgomery. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Michael. It's so nice to be invited into your home, into our viewers' homes. It's just we feel so blessed.
Yeah, and we're speaking from our separate homes.
Oh, okay. So you are obviously have the same last name. You're related somehow?
Former marriage.
Yes. Paperwork still in the works.
It's incredibly amicable.
Yes.
Oh, well, that's good. That's very nice. It's good to hear that. How long were you married?
12 years.
Yep, 10 good years.
Oh,
12.
2 at the end. That they were fine. They were fine, I think.
Okay, all right. That adds up to 12. Okay, good. All right. So we are once again so excited to have you two here to just impart knowledge on us. So let's jump right into your presentation. Madison and Chip Montgomery from their different homes.
Absolutely, yeah. We have stayed very close to each other since the divorce because we, as the world's foremost ska experts, we believe that our knowledge is important to share.
That's right. And we have, we built this presentation with our daughter, Rachel, who's going to be moving the slides along because she knows the stuff a little better than us, the technical side of things.
Yes, yeah. And we want Rachel to know that we love her as much as always. Anyway, ska is it's a history of dignity with a future of hope.
Just like our family, we still have our dignity, even, more now, I would say, now that we're not, getting on each other's nerves as much, there's a lot more space, a lot more, more boundaries that I personally really appreciate.
Yeah. And in the future, we have plenty of options for us. So, Chip may have moved on a little bit faster, but that doesn't mean that we can't all come to our own new understanding of family.
Yeah. Take it away, Rachel.
All right. So not many people know that ska is actually older than reggae.
That's true. Ska was sort of based on the rise of the culture of the 1950s. The war was over and everyone's like, hey, we've got all these trumpets, we've got all these bass guitars, let's make something that'll last.
Yeah, and sometimes the original is better than the newer model. So
okay, I see what you're up to, Maddie. That's let's not make this more complicated than it needs to be.
I like a little bit of humor, Chip, because that's how I cope.
That's right. And with dignity, we'll move on to our next slide.
Yep. Thank you, Rachel. In the 80s, ska goes synth. So it gets a little fresh new kind of feel to it.
That's right. Some might say that synth has a lot of improvements over traditional music. It's it's a lot more flexible. It sounds a lot of different ways, and it's a great listener.
I'm sorry,
in many
Chip.
ways too.
Just tell me not to make this about us.
Okay, well, I think people at home want to hear more about this great genre, ska. And
our daughter is 10, and she can hear us talking about, sorry, not us, you talking about how your new girlfriend is flexible. I don't even know if she understands the implications of that.
Well, you know what? Rachel is the one who put this together. So I think, we're really viewing Rachel's feelings on ska.
You think Rachel likes her stepmom because she's flexible?
Rachel, why don't we move on to the next slide? Okay.
Well, the 90s had a lot of choices. So many choices. And you chose one of them.
You know, a big problem with ska is how spoiled it was. You know, it didn't really appreciate what it had. You know, ska came from a very rich family. You know, there were those instruments cost a lot of money, and it really changes the way that you view the world around you.
Well, not everyone can be a big real fish, okay? A real big fish. Sorry.
No, and certainly most people don't have gold fingers. That makes some feel a little less than Jake. He came around quite a lot, didn't he?
Jake and I were friends and colleagues.
Oh, I was, of course, referring to the band. You know, not everybody can be a real big fish. Ska produced some of the 90s best one-hit wonders, such as, John, that dentist that you had to go see multiple times for fillings. Weird how they couldn't just do it all in one.
What you do with the dentist, they work on your teeth, Chip.
That's right. Most people avoid trips to the dentist, which, and you seem very excited to get all that work done, which I thought was
have
impressive.
weak teeth because I drink too much juice.
Yeah, well, and maybe a little more restraint on the juice and some other things might have, you know, worked out a little better for your dental health. And it would have worked out better for ska.
Let's take the next slide. In conclusion, everything's coming up ska.
It sure is. Ska is in a great place now. Lives in a great home. It's, you know, I personally think that the genre has a great future. It's, you know, it's no Beyonce. But
well, I mean, there's a number of upcoming developments in the world of ska. Most notably, of course, I'm sure all of you have heard about Ska Stock, which is many are saying is going to be the Woodstock of ska, probably because of the name.
That's right. It's going to be held in Boston, the home of the Bosstones, and a place where skanking never ended. You know, it's kind of a local phenomenon there.
There's going to be a number of new records released in the genre of ska because the future is full of hope.
That's right. I personally have a lot of hope that Lil Nas X will return my emails and feature ska on one of his albums. Maybe, you know, something cool for our daughter to see, that to know that her parents matter.
And anyway, thank you, Chip. I'm glad we were able to show dear Rachel that we're a united front still.
All right, Madison and Chip, thank you so much for that very personal and intimate look at ska music. We really appreciate that. We have a couple questions from the audience. Can you please go into great detail about the differences between the two-tone and third wave ska movements?
Absolutely, yeah. So the two-tone was, I mean, the name kind of says it all. There are two tones, two committed tones that are together and stick with each other.
And three-tone was like an experiment that was a sort of a messy form of music. You know, it's, you know, not, you know, sometimes two tones play a little louder than the third. And once you start bringing in extra instruments, especially ones of a certain quality, it starts to change the balance of the music. towards
Fascinating.
the negative.
Oh, okay, okay. So you're more of a two-tone movement person.
I would like to be.
Interesting. Okay, so maybe there's room for some coming together there with the two-tone movement. Okay, let's see. Now,
I mean, you can't knock out three-tone. It's I think it was enlightening. It was an enlightening movement.
All right, fair enough. Let's see. Some would say, this is coming from another viewer here, some would say ska is a weaker genre of music compared to the much stronger 90s alt rock. Is there any merit to this?
What is weakness? Is subtlety, is a soft touch weakness? Some might say that it is, but I do not. I don't think so.
I personally think softness, is a weakness. It's, a lot of people prefer that kind of the firm tones of the trombone, and especially those more accurate precision notes that a saxophone can hit. They're just a lot more effective. Some might call the soft tones of the horn section a little emasculating, and it's not really a great role model.
One might even begin to wonder if Chip's moving past ska in general.
Interesting. Okay. And we have one final question here. You mentioned your kid Rachel multiple times, who was helping you with this presentation. So this viewer wants to know, what instruments do you think your kid Rachel will learn to play first?
Tuba.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to do that.
It's a family of tuba players. Every single family in the maternal line has played tuba.
And you want to drag her into a lifestyle that she did not choose, even though she clearly shows aptitude for the baritone sax.
It's a lifestyle that she didn't choose. She was born into the family. It is a tradition. It is about loyalty. It is about respect for what has come before.
There is a reason that she chose a picture of Milhouse for the last slide. Milhouse was in love with Lisa, who played sax. Boom! Who's the better parent?
Wow. Okay. Still some issues to work out here, but I believe there's some great information on music and ska. So thank you so much, Madison and Chip, and Rachel Montgomery as well.
Great job, Rachel.
Yay, Rachel. We love you.
We love you too. I'll see you next weekend.
All right. Thank you, Madison and Chip. That concludes our very deeply seated knowledge here from our instant experts. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Michael Busch. Follow us at Imposters Comedy. Thank you to Rachel Javorsky for being our technical producer. And we'll see you again next month. Good night.